Hey, thanks for stopping by. I love it when you come and visit my YouTube channel. In fact, it's because of subscribers like you and people checking it out that it gets higher up on the search engines and even more people get a chance to check it out. Now you might ask, why is that important to me? Well, I'll give you an example today. Right now we've got this big campaign starting in the United States. Now you probably know from past videos I live in southern Alberta. Well, why would that interest me? Well, everything that happens in the United States affects Canada tremendously. No two nations trade between each other more than Canada and the United States. The United States trades more with Canada than it does with China. You probably didn't know that. And a lot of my viewers are from the United States, and so I feel the need to share things that aren't being shared currently. Now, I've said before, you know, when I'm in the United States, what I've noticed is I can look at any channel on TV, read any newspaper, and I've got no idea what's going on in the world. A lot of Americans don't even know who's running for president right now. You know, and it's not just the average person on the street. Noam Chomsky was doing an interview the other day. You know, he's a professor emeritus at MIT, political, you know, to the nines. And he was asked about Tulsi Gabbard, and he said he wasn't that familiar with her. Okay, well, she's the most important candidate running in the campaign, and the most brilliant guy on the Liberal side isn't familiar with her. Okay, that's a problem. That's a problem that's got to be fixed. That's a problem that's got to be fixed right now to the best of my ability. Okay, if you're one of my American viewers, whom I appreciate greatly, and I really need you guys to subscribe, because if this isn't reaching you guys, then it defeats the whole point of me being up here talking to you. Okay, why is it important? Why is this election important? Why is it that this very confused old man with orange hair and a big problem with personality, narcissistic personality disorder, he's surrounded himself with psychopaths, okay? Why is that important to Canadians? Well, I'll tell you, it's important to everybody in the world, and I hope it's important to you too, and I believe that it is. Okay, I'm going to assume that you don't know who Tulsi Gabbard is. She was one of the first people on the Democratic side to declare her candidacy for president. Now, you've heard of Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a great guy. People call him Uncle Bernie, whether they like his politics or not. He's a nice guy, and he is. And I admire a lot of what he's done. Now, having said that, when it comes to foreign policy, you know, Bernie's got to walk a tightrope, okay? And his constituency, they make a lot of airplane parts for F-16s and other things. He's got an obligation to look out for the people in his constituency. And plus, he was completely ripped off by the Democratic Party in regard to the last time he ran for president. And they've got a plan to do that to him again. They voted themselves the right to expel any candidate who doesn't match up with their party line. Now, they made that entirely to get rid of Bernie. So Bernie is handcuffed in regard to what he can say and can't say. The rest of the candidates have more freedom, but they choose to toe the line because obviously they're part of the problem. Tulsi Gabbard is the only candidate running. The only candidate running who's telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth all the time, no exceptions. How do I know that? Well, I know it the same way you're going to know it. I'm going to let her tell you herself. If you watch this lady for 5 minutes, you're going to know that everything I just said is true. You're going to know that maybe she's the best candidate that's ever run for president in your lifetime. And I challenge you to go to the links below and watch her for 5 minutes. It'll be the best thing you ever did for your country. Okay? I'm going to let her tell you what it is that she believes. If you can listen to this woman talk for 5 minutes and you don't think that she's the best candidate to ever have run for president in the United States, then I'm wrong. I challenge you to do that and tell me that I'm wrong. Come back and tell me that I'm wrong, because I'd love to know why. Everything she's ever said, I tell you, I've been studying U.S. politics my whole life, and you might say, well, why would a Canadian do that? Well, I tell you, I'm from southern Alberta. I make it my business. I do what I want to do. If you think it's not my business, you come to southern Alberta, you tell me that to my face. I don't recommend it, but I invite you to hear it. Come over here, we'll have a couple of beers and we'll talk about politics. All right, I challenge you, if you're living south of the border, to watch her for 5 minutes I'll leave a couple of links down there, and if she's not the best candidate who's ever run for politics in the United States, she spent 15 years in the military, the Democratic Party hates her guts, okay? She was being primed for the top leadership position of the Democratic Party. She was like second behind Hillary. They were priming her. They assumed that her values and morals would get discarded, just like all the other candidates discard, minor things like what's right and wrong. During the campaign, when Bernie Sanders was getting ripped off, Tulsi, even though this was going to totally ruin her career and her life, she did the right thing. Not because she's stupid. She did the right thing because it's the right thing. If you've ever done the right thing because it's the right thing to do, even though you're going to lose everything, then you understand words like integrity, honor, justice. You understand the difference between right and wrong. Tulsi Gabbard understands the difference between right and wrong. If you think that the President of the United States should know the difference between right and wrong, I agree with you. I've never seen it in my lifetime. The only halfway honest president that I've ever seen was Jimmy Carter, and look at what people did to him, all right? Study your history. What they did to him was absolutely unacceptable, and there's never been an honest president since. Okay, you got one chance to vote for somebody good. If they don't shoot her before the election, Tulsi Gabbard, I'm going to put the links below, and I invite you to check her out, okay? You understand how corrupt the Democratic Party is, okay? This is the party that supported slavery. Abraham Lincoln got rid of slavery because the United States still had it. All the civilized world had gotten rid of it 50 years earlier. The United States still wanted to retain slavery, and the Democrats were in favor of that, okay? All the rest of the civilized world has adopted universal health care 50 years ago. The United States, again, 50 years behind, and who is it that is the main obstacle? Oh, it's still the Democratic Party. Make no mistake, it's still the Democratic Party. They have had every opportunity to do it, and they have not. I'm putting these links below. If things like healthcare matter, if things like the truth matters, okay, 1 million civilians died as the result of the humanitarian effort made by the United States in Iraq. Now this includes both wars and in between. They were starved, they were everything. All that was done in the name of humanitarianism. Now, if you can kill 100,000 women and children and call it humanitarianism, and you can do it with a straight face, okay, you're somebody who is as evil as a human being can be. And as far as I'm concerned, 99% of your politicians there in the United States are exactly that evil. And the media is on their side. The media's got nothing to say about Tulsi Gabbard unless it's a smear. Or they ignore her completely. Most people don't even know she's running for president. That's how corrupt the media is in the United States. It's not much better anywhere else. That's the situation. Please, for God's sake, educate yourself. Take the 5 minutes to check out one of these links, and then tell me that I'm wrong. God, in the name of all that's holy, in the name of Jesus Christ, please do this one thing for me. Watch the links, all right? And if there's anything good you see, please feel to like and subscribe to this. And if you got friends in the United States, share, because I want this stuff to go viral in the United States. I'm trying to do something for humanity. If you can do something that takes 10 seconds and helps me out, thank you very much. Thank you. That's what we can do. We can work together. My name is Scott McGurn, and thank you for your time.